Alright guys, did you catch my uplifting fragrances video yesterday? I actually did a preview of On the Beach. It was at the end of the video, after the credits. If you didn't, go catch it. In fact, I speak a lot about citruses there, citrus florals, fresh, some marine fragrances that are very, very uplifting, sparkling, effervescent, very, very happy fragrances. Well, today I'm talking about the latest fragrance from Louis Vuitton. It's On the Beach. And once again, we have an uplifting fragrance, but I still think Afternoon Swim is still my favorite of the 5 fragrances in the California collection of fragrances from Louis Vuitton. But this one's definitely up there, really close to Afternoon Swim. So if you want to find out all about On the Beach by Louis Vuitton, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. Yes, today I'm talking about On the Beach, the latest release from Louis Vuitton. This is the 5th California-themed, California-inspired fragrance collection from Louis Vuitton. They now have a women's collection, a men's collection, the Middle Eastern Oriental collection, and now the California collection. The California collection, as I said, features 5 total fragrances. This is the 5th. And the previous one to this was California Dream, which, you know what, it's still not a favorite of mine, but, you know, it starts out smelling really, really great, then just takes a nosedive and becomes really sharp and metallic, which I don't care for. So something was odd about that fragrance, but it has its fans. It definitely has its fans. My favorite still is Afternoon Swim. I really do love this one. It's just a really, really happy, uplifting fragrance. But On the Beach is definitely up there close to it. So I'll let you know all about On the Beach. But before I do, if this is your first time tuning into my channel and you still haven't subscribed, please do click the subscribe button below and also click the bell so that you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. So if you don't know the California collection from Louis Vuitton, the 5 fragrances feature Afternoon Swim, Sun Song, Cactus Garden, and those 3 were launched first. Last year, they launched California Dream, and now we have On the Beach. So those are the 5 different California-inspired fragrances from Louis Vuitton. On the Beach was something I was anticipating, and I thought when I saw the name On the Beach, it was going to go aquatic. Thankfully, it doesn't. In fact, Afternoon Swim, initially I thought was aquatic. Thankfully, it's not. None of the California-inspired fragrances go aquatic, thankfully. But this one actually, On the Beach, does go beachy. It really literally does have a beachy vibe to it, which is fun, you know? Maybe sort of it might remind you of aquatic marine fragrances, but to me it doesn't. Either way, On the Beach by Louis Vuitton is a 2021 launch. The concentration is Eau De Parfum. Perfumer once again is Jacques Cavallier. This I would call an aromatic citrus fragrance. The notes here are Japanese Yuzu, Tunisian Neroli, Thyme, Rosemary, pink pepper, clove, and Cypress. But when you read the notes on Louis Vuitton's website, they only credit Japanese Yuzu, Tunisian Neroli, aromatic herbs, and then Cypress. Those are the only notes that are listed, but I did check online and the databases were definitely listing all the notes I read to you. So what do we get with this one? Once again, it's a citrus. All of these the California collection fragrances from Louis Vuitton focus on citruses, although I think the one that doesn't focus too much on citrus, even though it has lots of citrus, is Cactus Garden. That one is citrusy, but it has this kind of green mate note in there, so it goes into kind of like a, you know, spicy, aromatic, herbal, you know, grassy direction. But I think the rest of them are pretty citrusy, with Sun Song being the citrus floral, the orange blossom, neroli note, with Afternoon Swim being mandarin orange and oranges. So it's really, really fresh and uplifting. With this one, they've added a few additional notes that are giving us the whole beachy thing. The note I did not mention here that also Fragrantica lists is the note of sand. And even though Louis Vuitton doesn't credit this note, I think they've created an accord in here to give us that kind of like sandy, beachy vibe. So the fragrance starts off with a blast of Yuzu, the Japanese Yuzu. And once again, I keep saying this in my videos since last year, this is a very trendy note. Grapefruit, pomelo, Yuzu. Really, I'm seeing a lot of it. And we're going to get to a point where, everybody's going to be using it, and then the trend is going to die. But here it's featured once again, and it's a nice blast. Yuzu has a bitterness, of course, like grapefruit. There is a bitterness here, but here I don't get too much bitter spiciness that I typically do with the Yuzu, grapefruit, and pomelo. It's more of a well-rounded kind of a experience with the light hints of spiciness from that Japanese Yuzu. Now this one has loads of Neroli. The Tunisian Neroli comes in a lot, and I think Yuzu and Neroli is a great match. Wonderful match. In fact, I'm seeing a lot of this combination. The Yuzu or pomelo or grapefruit with the orange blossom and Neroli note. I think they work great, you know? The grapefruit, Yuzu, pomelo is a different kind of citrus, not your typical bergamot, orange or lemon kind of note. And as I said, it does have a spicy zinginess to it, and I think that spicy zinginess of the Yuzu, pomelo, grapefruit really complements that beautiful, sweet floral touches of the Neroli or the orange blossom. So it works great here, it really does. And the aromatic notes come in. I do experience lots of thyme and rosemary here. It does have a kind of a herbal quality, very, very aromatic. But I like that. It has to have this nice contrast in here to take the fragrance, keep taking us to the next level. And then finally, the spices of pink pepper and cloves come in, but I get more cloves in here than pink pepper, so that's great. But what else is really big here is the cypress note. The cypress note is pretty prominent, and that's another trendy note here, I think. I actually have a video on the channel of different cypress fragrances, Guerlain, Bottega Veneta, and also Acqua di Parma. Go check that out. And it's really, really prominent here in this fragrance. So for me, this fragrance is mostly about the Japanese Yuzu, the Tunisian Neroli, and that cypress note. But with those notes, we're getting this whole beachy vibe with it. So that beachy vibe is definitely prominent here. Almost like suntan lotioned skin on beach, sun hitting, and then all these notes of citruses and the citrus flowers and the cypress smell coming right in. There's a green touch in here, and I think that's coming in from not only the rosemary and the thyme, but also that cypress note. Definitely can pick this up, but it's ultra citrusy. It's really, really citrusy experience, and also floral, and also very, very aromatic. So I do like this one quite a bit. In fact, it's kind of up there. The only thing I feel like going back to California Dream, that one was so sharp and metallic and crisp. This one is the opposite. It's very soft. And there's a softness about it, smooth about it, and I almost get like coconut smoothness. I associate beachy suntan lotion things with coconuts, and almost like they have it in here, or they've created this creaminess from some kind of a connection of notes together to give us that whole experience. So because of that, we're getting a much smoother, softer kind of experience in comparison to California Dream with its ultra metallic sharpness that fragrance was. But I do experience some similarities to California Dream. I feel like this is like an evolution of California Dream, which I didn't care for much, as I said. And here we've got, as I said, the complete opposite. Whereas that one was sharp, metallic, crisp. Here it's a much smoother wear. One other thing I want to say about On the Beach, I felt like side by side, I feel like Afternoon Swim seems a little stronger to me as a wearing experience than On the Beaches. Because of this being ultra soft, for me it's a soft wear, soft experience, I felt like Afternoon Swim seems a little more substantial. Not a lot, just a little, but it's definitely noticeable. So I'd actually recommend that you guys test them out side by side to see. So I would actually list On the Beach tied with Sunsong. So Afternoon Swim for me is number one from this collection. And in fact, I started out loving Sunsong a lot more. I felt like Sunsong was my favorite, but Afternoon Swim just became my favorite. And Afternoon Swim seems like it has a huge following. People generally seem to like it. And actually, if you haven't caught my video yesterday of uplifting fragrances, please do to go see where this one ended up at on that list, because it's definitely very, very uplifting, sparkly, effervescent. So this is my number one in this collection, and I would say On the Beach and Sunsong are kind of tied. And the thing is, this has Tunisian Neroli, right? Sunsong has the orange blossom Neroli note in there as well. So I feel like this is also an evolution of that fragrance, because you do pick up some of that smell in here, but it has a little more going on in here with the different notes in comparison to Sunsong. The negatives about Afternoon Swim, Sunsong, are they seem a little not overly complex, whereas here we got a little more complex experience, not too much, but when you compare it to Sunsong and Afternoon Swim, they seem a little less complex. Either way though, this still smells fantastic. I really love the way it smells. Still my number one because I really love the way it smells, but I think On the Beach definitely comes at number two, tied with Sunsong. So those are my thoughts on Louis Vuitton's On the Beach. Now it's time for you guys to go check it out and test it out. It was a moderate wearing experience. Again, I don't really talk a lot about performance and things like that. And I did mention that this is definitely a softer take. So go test it out to see how it performs on you. But I think it'll be a great fragrance for come summertime. And we actually end up going to the beach this particular summer. Either way, a solid release from Louis Vuitton. I'm glad it's out. Again, it definitely is much better than California Dream, but definitely you guys go check it out. And let me know what your thoughts are on the beach. Have you tried it? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Let me know what you think about the whole entire collection, including Afternoon Swim, Sunsong, Cactus Garden, California Dream, and now On the Beach. I'd like to find out what you guys think. Either way, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please do list below. Other than that, please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.